Woohoo! Welcome to your brand new Tekmatix account. It is absolutely so exciting and an honor to have you here with us. And boy, are you about to go through a learning curve, a journey to automation, to streamlining and systemizing your business and making everything in your business a lot more fun. Now, of course, none of this happens overnight, and there is going to be a little bit of a journey and a lot of learning that you're going to need to do to get things up and running. So first of all, please give yourself some patience and some time. There is the equivalent of approximately 25 plus entire systems built into this one platform. The base of this is on a platform called GHL/High Level. You may have heard that before or seen it out there in the marketplace. And if not yet, you certainly will do soon. We are not a plain white label of High Level. We have used High Level as a base. So you get all of the same features that anyone with a basic High Level account has. But we've also got lots of added on extras into the system, both in terms of features and also in terms of support and all of pre-built funnels and all kinds of other juices that are scattered throughout the whole entire system. So I want you to think about, first of all, what it is that you need in your business right now and what is going to be the most effective for you in your business right now. And I recommend anything that's going to make you money, start growing your email list, or indeed create time for you in the future. So I'm going to take you through, first of all, just a very basic and very fast overview of the main features and sort of navigation that you see inside your account. And as you go through the Tekmatix training course, which you will find on your main menu under training resources. In fact, by the time you see this, it might say training course here, Tekmatix training course. They will go through in much more detail, also as does the YouTube channel. By the way, if you go to the Tekmatix YouTube channel, click on playlists, all of our training videos are also uploaded here. So if getting into the course is for any reason a challenge for you, or you just prefer to use YouTube because it's on your phone, then feel free to go there too. However, inside this training course, we have put basically all of the training in sections in a rough order of which you might take it to learn how to use all of these features in more detail. But let's start, shall we, with just a very basic overview. Now, when you log into your account, you have here the dashboard. This dashboard, once you've got your system set up properly, will basically show how many contacts you've got, what your conversion rate of your sales is, i.e. how many people are actually buying based on how many leads you've got. It's going to show you all kinds of data based on where people are at in your customer journey, how much money you're making, how each of your funnels are converting, tasks that you might have to do for your team or you have to do, where your leads are actually coming from, like which blog posts or sales pages are bringing in you the most people. And lots more data, which, by the way, you can edit by clicking on the edit dashboard feature. Widgets are these sections that you see here. You can drag and drop your widgets and move them around. You can go over here and choose any kind of data that you want to show on your dashboard by mucking around with this. Okay, I'm going to press cancel on there, but just to let you know that is your dashboard, and you update these different sections automatically through a number of features inside your account, one of which is automated workflows. You'll learn all about that later in our Tekmatix course. But inside your automated workflows is where you can move people to different stages in your customer journey, which will then change your conversion rates. Of course, anyone who then makes sales inside your funnels pages also will update on your sales as well. But that's for learning for another day. That's your dashboard. Now, inside the inbox, this is one of the most exciting features, in that you are pulling together or unifying all of your inboxes. This is where you can actually sync in your emails. You can sync in your Google business profile messages, your social media inboxes. So your Facebook business page messages can come in here. Your Instagram business page messages can come in here. Your WhatsApp, your SMSs, basically every single form and medium of communication that you have in your business is going to come into this one single inbox. Yes, even if you have added staff into your system, which I'll show you in just a second, their communications will all show inside the inbox here as well. So you are never going to have to look around or hunt about for information again. And you're going to love this even more when you go into individual contacts, because the contact record will also show all of the communication from all of those different channels: Google profile, Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, any of your staff's email addresses, SMSs, WhatsApp, whatever you've connected will show up in that client's record as well, which I'll show you in a moment inside contacts. Woohoo, it's so exciting. Now, also what you have down here is the opportunity to respond and reply to any of these particular messages inside the inbox section. So you can see here, there is a message that's come in by email from me to me in this test account. Now, if I had Sarah's phone number, I'd be able to SMS her right from here. If Sarah had ever messaged me from Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger, I would also be able to reply to her via those channels from right in here as well. Even if she had messaged me on WhatsApp, I would be able to message on here as well. Now, that would mean obviously we had to have connected and set up WhatsApp as well. But basically, I could reply to any of the channels that I have the communication channel with this person from right here. Meanwhile, we also have the opportunity from here to create templates. So you have here the opportunity to add templates in, to send invoices, payment links, to add in images. You can also create what's called snippets. These are like templates that you can create if you're replying to the same kind of email over and over and over again. And there's so much more that you can do in here. Over on the right-hand side as well, when I'm inside the inbox, I can see everything about this person, from their contact information, which person owns them or is their kind of account manager. We can add tags to this person or see what tags they have, or add tags right from here. We can turn them onto do not disturb, meaning they won't be getting any emails from us, and so much more. Okay, we can even see what appointments this person has coming up. We can see where they are at in the customer journey. Opportunity means the stage of the customer journey they're at. Don't worry, you're going to learn what all this stuff means by the time I'm done with you. We can also add tasks to this contact's record. So right from in the inbox here, if we add a task to them, it will update their contact record in the contact section. So this is going to be really good for you if you've got something to do for this particular customer. There are more training on tasks later. You can assign this task to yourself or one of your team. They will get a notification, and basically you're never going to miss following up or stuff you need to do for customers ever again. Also, you can add notes and contact records. So, Sarah and I discussed XYZ. And that will also then be added to the client's contact record too, which I'll be showing you in the CRM section as well. But basically now this is going to give you the opportunity to make sure that no communication ever gets missed again. Don't have a million tabs open. You're going to be able to do everything directly from your inbox. It's going to suck in all those comms from all of those locations. How amazing is that? Now, the next section we have is your calendars section. You can sync in your calendars that you use. If you're using Google Calendars, which is what I use, if you're using Outlook calendars, this basically can sync two ways: your calendars that you're using for your everyday business, but also to create calendar appointments. These are booking appointments for booking one-on-ones with you, calls with you, services, consulting, group training, events, absolutely anything you could possibly imagine. You can even do room hire and equipment hire and everything from these two. You simply go in, press create a calendar, and you can choose all of these different kinds of calendar appointment types. This replaces everything like Calendly, Acuity, you name it. You can create unlimited calendars for unlimited staff members and connect them all in this one particular place. Now, before I go into calendars or any of the other main features on here, the next thing I just want to take you to is skip you down to settings, being that you're here for the first time. Your settings is where you can now go and just turn on and update some of your main business settings. So click on business profile first of all. You're going to want to upload your own business logo, pop in your address, your time zone. This time zone is very important because this will impact the time zone that your emails get sent at, particularly if you're scheduling emails or you're scheduling any social media content from the social media scheduler, which you're going to learn about shortly. You do need to make sure that your time zone is set to the right time zone for you. Update all of this information here. This also will actually make a difference to custom fields that you can bring over and automate in things like invoices, in your email footers. So you're going to want to make sure that this is all correct and up to date. And also just going down to your general settings over here, I want to explain a couple of these settings to you. Allow duplicate opportunity. This means, do you want people to be in more than one stage of your customer journey at the same time? I personally keep that off because I only want to know where somebody is at that particular point in time. So you will learn more about what a customer journey is, but as a very basic overview, in your business, you're going to have people who are just leads, i.e. they haven't yet bought anything from you, and they're going to keep moving along your little journey of sales right the way through everything that they could ever buy from you, from the cheapest right up to the most expensive. That's the best way to visualize what I mean when I say a customer journey. I like people to only be sat at the stage, the most current or latest stage they're at, not have them in every single stage. So I keep that one turned off. Now, do you want to merge contact Facebook contacts by name? This means if you've got two Sarah Cordner friends on Facebook, do you want them to become the same contact in the system? I keep that off because I might have two Jane Jones friends, right, who are actually different people. So I don't want the system to automatically merge my contacts together, just in case it so happens I've got two contacts who are completely separate people who just happen to have the same name. All right. The other thing I keep off is disabling the contact's time zone. I actually want the contact's time zone to be recorded in the system, so I keep that checked off. Bot detection. Now, what's this? If a bot is detected opening or clicking on an email, then basically it will not count the statistics. So that's up to you, whether you want to turn that off or on. I personally keep it off because it doesn't matter to me. If it's been opened, and I just count that data as opened. Mark emails as invalid due to a hard bounce. So again, this is emails being marked as invalid automatically if it bounces. And this means that if you've got emails that are bouncing, it will stop that email sending or trying to send anywhere or however else in your system too, i.e. if you've got workflows happening or automations happening behind the scenes, if an email's bounced, you're probably not going to want that to keep attempting to send to that email address, because then it might actually impact your sending status and your sending domain later. Don't worry, you're going to learn more about emails in the email section of the Tekmatix training course. So don't panic if this all sounds like complete gobbledygook to you at the moment. This is a very, very quick overview of just some things to just basically check or uncheck at this early stage. You can go and change and edit these whenever you want. Okay. Gather intelligence on unknown phone numbers. I like to turn that one on. This is, for instance, I don't know if you've ever seen if your phone rings and it will pop up saying things like suspected spam, or we think this might be, the ABC bakery. I like to have that on. Now, verify email address when your email is first sent. Please turn that on. That's very important that this is checked. What this will do is actually verify whether an email address is real, and therefore protect your domain. If somebody puts in an incorrect or a fake email address, you do not want to be sending emails to it. Otherwise, it's going to affect your sending domain if it bounces. So I will explain this more later on down the line in the email section, but I just strongly recommend that you turn this on, and that will make sure that every time a new email address is added to your system, we will actually automatically conduct a verification on that email for you so that you can protect your sending domain and only be sending to real email addresses. It's just good for your sending reputation. All right. Make SMS compliant by adding an opt-out message. Please turn that on. This just means that you're complying with things like A2P and 10 DLC sending requirements. I know that sounds complicated and scary. Basically, it's the law for it to say reply stop to unsubscribe. All right. So if you turn this on, that's going to add that opt-out message. Now, I'm not saying it makes you compliant. I'm just saying you do want that on at the very least, okay? So with these others, just turn them all on, and it's just going to make sure that they have the opt-out button attached to them at the very least. Anything else I want to turn on? The other thing is contact duplication. Do you want to allow contacts to be duplicated in the system? By this, I mean, if I've got 3 Sarah Cordners with the same email address, do I want them to be 3 separate accounts or contact records? No. Keep this one turned off, because if somebody has used the same email address 5 times in your system, you don't want them to have 5 different contact records, okay? That's what it means. You don't want to duplicate a contact. All right, and do you want to enable a missed call text back? Yes or no? You will learn about missed call text backs later on in the automations section. This is only going to work if you've actually connected a phone number to the system, which one of our tech experts can help you do on a paid call if you would like that help. However, if you are connecting phone numbers or have got them connected, you might want to turn that on, okay? I'm not going to at the moment because there's no phone number attached to this pretend account. So once you've updated your business profile over here, make sure you've pressed update and update and update on each of those different different sections. All right. And once you've done that, you might then want to click onto My Staff while you're in this settings section. This is where you're going to add all of your team members to your account. Now, you need to add yourself as a team member to your own account if you want to make sure that you can add tasks to yourself, assign clients to yourself, and so on. Yes, you own your Tekmatix account, but you also need to be an employee in your system so that you can become an owner of client records, so that you can also send automated notifications to yourself, and so on. So you're going to press Add an Employee. You might want to upload a photo of yourself. There's me. And pop in all of your contact details, your email address, your phone number. Click on advanced settings. This is where you can choose your own password. If you have connected a calendar yet, this is where you can choose it here. But at this stage, you wouldn't have yet created your calendar. So leave that blank for now. You can come back and update this later. Do you want to add a signature to all of your different emails that you send out from the system? Yes or no? And once you've done all that, you're going to press save. The next thing you're going to do is then choose the special roles and permissions that this particular employee has. Now for you, you're going to be an admin because you own your whole account, and you're going to have records, access to all records and all data. You're going to need to make sure that you have turned on everything so that you know that you have access to everything. Now, if you haven't had your onboarding call yet, some of these features are not going to be there for you. You do need to have your onboarding call before you can turn on some of your features and functions. All right. So if for any reason you can't do this or you can't edit this yet, it means you haven't had your onboarding call and you need to go do that. All right. So turn everything on for you. Of course, if this was an employee that you're adding, you might more make them just a user. And then you're going to choose which features they can and cannot access. All right. So that's up to you what you choose to do. I can't give you legal advice on that kind of stuff. Now, while we're just inside the settings over here, next thing I want to take you through to is the calendars settings. No, apologies, not the calendar settings. Yes, I do. Connections. Okay. Calendars, connections. This is where you may want to add in your various, oh no, that's not, you guys can't access that one, sorry. Is it because I've just changed my permission to not having any access at all? No, we don't want to do that for Google. Okay, I think I've taken you to the wrong part here. I don't know why I can't add you your calendar, but let's go down to integrations because I know you can do it from there. So sorry, my apologies. Let's just skip that calendars part a second because there's some things in your account that you have not connected yet. So that's why we can't see that information in here. What I wanted to take you to was the integrations for your calendar settings. So keep scrolling down until you find integrations over here. And this is where now you're going to want to connect in some of your accounts that you might be using. So for instance, I use Google for my emails. I use Google Workspace for my calendars and all of that. So you're going to want to go in and connect your Google account. You simply press sign in with Google, follow your sign in prompts, and boom, it will be connected. And you'll know that it's connected because it will then have your email address here and say connected. All right. If you've got a Google business page, you can also connect your Google business page here. You can also go in and connect your Facebook Messenger and Instagram so that they're all connected in. If you use QuickBooks or Stripe or any of these other platforms, basically you can now go in and connect them all in here, okay? Once you have connected all of those, the other thing I want to point out your attention to in this section for now, and again, there's going to be a lot of these things we're going to come and learn later, but I just want to bring your attention to. First of all is your conversation AI. Okay, now this is actually moving to the conversation AI version 2. You will probably only be able to see one of these to begin with. But basically inside conversation AI, I'm just going to migrate a bot over because I've been using the old one. This is where you can start turning on automated bots to reply to all incoming inquiries in your Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger, in your little website chat pop-up widget, in SMSs and more. Let me click a general support bot for you. I'm going to just open one up over here and show you one that's already been done because again, there are videos in the AI section that show you how to do this in more detail. But basically, all you're going to do is turn on an autopilot bot, tell the system which platforms you want your bot to be operative on, and then you're simply going to, over in the bot training, Oh, didn't press save. In the bot training, you're simply going to give the link to your website, press get data, and it's going to learn everything about your website in seconds. You can put in multiple websites for it to learn over here. You can even add specific Q&A questions, and you can even add links into your bot's knowledge base. And what your bot will do, if you go into bot goals, is it will then take contact information, it will speak a certain way, it can even book appointments for you as well. And as soon as you press save on that, boom, the bot is live on all of those channels that you have turned it on for. So that whenever anyone messages you on any of those, you're now going to have your bot respond, ask questions, communicate, gather their contact information, add them as a record to your system, and get them booking appointments in your calendar. Woohoo! That's all done there. Just as excitingly, which there is more training on inside the AI section as well, is what's called the voice AI agent. And this is basically if somebody phones you, if you've attached a phone number to this system or bought a phone number for the system, if anyone phones you on that, this AI voice agent, it is literally a phone receptionist that will have phone calls with your people, will answer the phone calls for you, have whole conversations, answer their questions, and take their contact information, and even can add them to workflows, send them SMS, redivert calls like a switchboard, you name it. This is like a whole other game of a 24-hour receptionist that is going to answer every call that ever comes in for you. So that's here. I'm not going to go into how to do that because there is a training on this inside the Tekmatix training course and also on the Tekmatix YouTube channel under the AI playlist. But I want to show you that it's here inside the settings section. Now, lots of other things that we can do in here. I will be going into many of those in the training course in more depth. But the other thing that just while we're in this section, I want to point out is the labs and the brand boards. Brand boards, first of all, this is where you can, I don't know if you've ever used Canva. This is where you basically are setting in your hex codes, your logos, your fonts and formats and everything that you use across the platform so that when you are in the web page builder, creating funnels and stuff like that, you have your colors all preset inside the system. So you might want to go and add your brand board settings in there as well. And then the labs is something that I want you to be aware of too, because this is where you can opt into ours and GHL's beta features, basically. So whenever High Level, the platform that we're built on top of, or us add new APIs or new features in, you before we kind of roll them out and pump it into everyone's system, you can actually choose to have a go early, basically. So inside Labs, you go to Settings, click on Labs. You'll see here if there's anything that you want to turn on. So here's a new feature, connect multiple Facebook and Instagram pages. Oh, yes, please. All right, let's turn that on. This now enables us to have that feature. FYI, you may need to just press refresh, sign out, and send back in again in order for that feature to be showing up inside your account. But here is where you're going to be able to turn stuff on. So if you ever see things inside demo videos that you can't see, either you're on the lower plan, because I'm showing you demonstrations using the full pro plan, of course, or you simply need to go to Labs and turn on something that might be in beta at the moment. All right. There we go. There's some basics. There's a lot more in here, of course, but I am just wanting to show you around the basic areas at the moment. Now, we also have, let's go into a contact record over here. Now, this is a pretend account. I just want to make you aware. As you can see, we've got made up Margaret, artificial Arthur, virtual Vera. Let's go into virtual Vera. In fact, let's go into our pretend Nat over here, because she might have some more activity on her account. When you click on a client's record or open up a client's record, you have a whole host of features inside the CRM. This is the customer relationship management or the customer record management, depending on the industry you've come from. But I want to show you what's inside a customer record. So here we've got Nat, okay? And as you collect data from people, it will continuously add to their record. Now you can see here, because we turned on that email verification in our business settings, in the business profile, you can see that this email address has been verified, meaning it's real and it does actually work. We can also re-verify it for any reason if we want to, but it's ticked. It means it's a safe email and it's unlikely to get bounces or impact our sending domain. So if for any reason you've got people who are not receiving emails from you, it might be that this says bounced or unverified, or, this will say, it'll be like a red cross that there's something wrong with this email. In which case I would go and check if they've typed their email address in wrong. It may be They just typed their email address in wrong and it needs to be re-verified. Okay. So that's one thing you might want to be thinking about. Next, all of their contact information and any fields that you've put together on forms are all going to show up in the contacts record down here. And as you keep scrolling down, you've got more information that you may have added into the system as fields. It may be that you've got all their tags that you want to add here, has opted into my free XYZ webinar. But any tags that you've given them are going to show up like that. Any workflows or automations that they are currently in or have been in will show up here. So if I wanted to add Nat to a particular workflow, I could go in and add them to one of these workflows over here. And if I want to move them to a particular stage in their customer journey, which is what opportunities means, I can do that from here. We also have any courses or products that they may belong to. So again, I can press drop down. Maybe I want to add her to my coaching program. Maybe I want to also add her to my barista course, right? This is where you can literally add people to courses straight from their client record. And here where it says DND, that means do not disturb. If somebody unsubscribes from your list, this will be read. That means do not disturb is turned on and activated. Therefore, if you email them, it's not going to send. Okay. So they can make that themselves by pressing unsubscribe. Inbound everything or DND everything, that's turned on. If I only wanted to do not disturb them by email, then I could just do that. But just so you know, this shows if they're not getting your emails, they may have accidentally unsubscribed or unsubscribed at some point. And if they're like, oh, I haven't got my emails from you, go and check if they're on DND. Is usually what's happened. They've unsubscribed. Now here, this is the all-important communication thread. So these are all of the emails or SMSs or Facebook messages or Instagram messages, anything that me or my team have sent this contact. Okay. Absolutely every single piece of communication. Now, this is obviously a pretend record here, but where we are over on this right-hand side, I want to take you through these icons along the top. Here we are always by default in activity. This will show us every single thing that this contact has done. Every page they've clicked, every form they've filled in, every blog post they've read, every single thing they have done, every email they've opened, every link in every email they've clicked on. Basically, every activity they undertake goes on in here, and you can see what they've done in this contact activity record. The other thing we have is the tasks that are associated with this contact. So let's say I've just had a coaching call with this person and I've got to do X, Y, and Z project for them. I can type in the task details over here, assign it to a particular person, set the due date and time over here, choose the time zone, and, say whichever contact it is. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of some of these because it's all warning me this is a pretend account and nothing's connected. Next, we have notes. So this is all of your contact notes that you have inside the system. This is where I can add in any kind of information I want, like please don't offer this person calls with me anymore. All right. I don't know what you might want to do. Add another contact record in here. Don't forget to ask her about her grandfather in next week's call, as he was sick. All right, so you can leave all kinds of notes or records about this in here, and you can also automate notes that go into client records, but that's basically how you do that. And it shows all the time and date stamps and by which person in the system left that record to. You can also click on appointments and see any appointments that they've got upcoming or that they've had, whether they showed for them or whether they didn't. You can automatically add an appointment to them from right here in the system. So you can choose which one of your appointment sessions it is, who it's with, what date and time, and it will send that appointment through to them. In your documents section, this one's really cool. You can upload any kind of file. So if they have sent you, documents that you're working with for a project with them, if there are signed service agreements or contracts, basically any kind of file whatsoever can be added to the client record over here. And FYI, you can create forms inside the form sections under websites and funnels that actually allow clients to upload files to the forms. And when they upload files to a form, it does automatically assign to their client record under the documents section. So that's that's also very cool. You can, under the payments section here, see any payments that they've sent you, any invoices that they've been sent, any subscriptions that they belong to over here. You can update cards. You can also create subscriptions or invoices. You can send them a quick charge link directly from here. There are so many other actions. And then you've got inside associations. This is where you might, for instance, assign them to belonging to a particular company. So I've got a lot of people on the system here that, for instance, do training for big corporates, as an example. And they might have hundreds of employees, all of which need to be assigned to a particular company. So maybe you've got 300 employees in your system that actually work for McDonald's because you're doing a McDonald's training program, I don't know, and you need to make sure that they are actually assigned to McDonald's. That this is just ways that you might use this objects section. There's loads of other ways that you can use that, and that will come up in other training in the future. So that's a little bit about the contact section. Now, by the way, inside the contact section over here, I also just want to take you back to, sorry, let me just switch it out. I want to take you to the smart lists section because this one is very important. Now, smart lists basically means sub lists or segments or groups of contacts from your entire database. So when you go into contacts and you're on the all section here, it will show you how many contacts you have overall in your database. So in this pretend account, we've got 58 contacts, okay? But what we can do here is we can create what's called smart lists, which will automatically update based on certain conditions. So for instance, when I have somebody join my list who I know is from Australia, I make sure that they are tagged with the tag Australia. If I have somebody who has joined my list, I don't know, maybe I was at a network meeting very specifically in Brisbane, Australia, I will tag them Brisbane, Australia, so that I can actually create a list of, out of all these 58 people, 10 of them are Brisbane contacts, 10 of them are Australia contacts, 10 of them are United Kingdom contacts, 5 of them are people who have bought the astrology course, okay? But you're using filters to create these smart lists, which are ever-changing and updating lists based on certain tags or conditions or behaviors of your contacts. And this is going to become very important when you start learning how to use workflows later, because depending on what people have bought from you or how they joined your list, you can basically tag them accordingly, okay? So let me show you, for example, how to create a smart list here. And again, there will be more training on this later, but let's go to filters. You're going to be in your contacts, all, and filters. I might want to go, let's find everybody who maybe has the city, and then the city is Brisbane. Okay, that's it. The city is Brisbane. Apply. And I might then save this smart list as Brisbane. Now, at the moment, we might not have anyone in this list, right? It's going to be 0 people because nobody inside my account has that city listed yet. But now that I've created it, now that it exists, anytime somebody now joins my list from this point onwards and has that condition, the city is Brisbane, will now automatically be added to this list. Now, FYI, brilliant, I've just got the gardener turn up. Sorry about the background noise here. Please note that your system is not a mind reader. It is not automatically going to know that people live in Brisbane, okay? You are going to have to set up systems and automations that will either gather that information from your audience or is going to collect that data in some way. So it's never going to just magically know where your people live. You do have to actually tell the system or get them to fill in a form or whatever. That's another story for another day. But this is how you would, for instance, do that. Now, another example would be if I said, like, for instance, a tag. The tag might be that they are in Australia. So, for instance, when I meet people at network meetings and I know that they're from Australia, I will add a tag Australia because I don't have an Australia tag at the moment. The tag is Australia and apply. That will now create a Australian contact list for me as well. So I just want to really highlight that for you. And before I move into any of the other features in this training, I am going to pause this video because the gardener's making a lot of noise. I'll talk to you in a second. thing ever. The rain just started, so stop the gardener pretty quickly. All right, we now have Task Manager. Let's take you to the Task Manager section. This is where you have any tasks that you might have created. You can create project boards in here. You can create, it's like think of this like Kanban boards. Think of it like Trello, ClickUp. You can basically create these boards. Like for instance, daily team tasks board as an example, where you might have SOPs, daily tasks, weekly tasks, monthly tasks, and you can basically create these boards with all of your daily tasks in it. So I can have in here like maybe tasks, you need to answer emails, okay, press save. And now if you click on that card, you can go in and choose, for instance, the frequency that this needs to be done. And maybe that's a daily task and it needs to be done by, I don't know, let's say by 3 p.m. every single day, set up schedule. And then you're going to have in the edit section here, you can add in subtasks. You can assign it to a particular person. There's so much stuff you can do in here. You can add in the task description and all of the instructions. You can add in hyperlinks if you're linking out to Google Docs or anything. And down here in the comments, this is where you can actually comment with people and actually say, you know, at Sarah or at Fahad, right? So it tags them and they get sent a notification. Have you done this? How is it going? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm going to press cancel so I don't actually send stuff to people. You also can assign this task to whoever needs to do it. And blah, there's all your tasks. All right. So there's a lot more involved in this. We'll go more into how to use the task board. You can change it into table view. You can change it into a calendar view so you can see like all the tasks that are upcoming. You can turn it into a list view if you want to go and see what tasks are due and like whether it's due now, due date, whatever. Just do it by due date, do it by this week, next month, blah, 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 blah. Okay, there's your task manager. Really fun. Loads more training on that. Okay, let's talk about customer journeys. Again, there is more training on the customer journeys and opportunities section. But basically, this is where essentially you're going to be creating a customer journey for your business. And I recommend only having like one customer journey for the overview of your entire company. For example, you've got leads, you've got everything that you sell all the way up to kind of your most expensive stuff is basically what you have. And as you can see here, it will start showing all of the people that are at those different stages of the customer journey with you. You are going to be able to see all of the people who are leads that have never bought anything. And that number will automatically change to the figure of leads that you have sat there. So this is going to tell you, it's nothing more motivating than seeing that you've got $20,000, $50,000 worth of leads sat there and who they all are to reach out to those people, right? And again, this will tell you which of your stuff is selling most, where the most amount of your money is actually sitting, and it's going to have a very big impact on how you're managing your sales basically behind the scenes. So there'll be training on how to do that in the customer journey section. You also have the payments section over here. Now, by the way, things change and update all of the time, but at the moment, at the time of recording this, you can do invoices and estimates, recurring invoices. You can do proposals from here. And yes, you can brand them and set them up as templates so that you can make all of your proposals and recurring invoices and everything look beautiful from the system here. You can also create contracts that are all customized and branded in your branding. You can also add all of your payment links in here for certain products. You can create coupons inside here. All right, so you can add coupon codes if you want to give discounts to people or for special periods of time. And then when you click on the integrations section of this menu, getting a bit covered up there, isn't it? This is where you can actually come in and connect your Stripe, your PayPal, and any other payment methods that are on the system right here as well. More training on that in the payment section. Now we also have marketing and emails section over here. This is a very large section. First of all, you've got your social media planner. Now what you want to do is make sure you click on all of these buttons and connect all of your social media profiles. FYI, the APIs for these are controlled by the social platforms, not by us or GHL. And Facebook, Instagram, all of them actually, when they do major updates to their security or to their platforms, will disconnect your connections. That is just what happens to all APIs. It will refresh the security connection. So sometimes it takes months before they do that and nothing happens. Sometimes they do heaps of updates. And I've had times actually where I've had to reconnect my Facebook like more than once in a month. So just keep an eye on this. You will get a notification, by the way, that tells you if anything's been disconnected. But you're going to click on all of these and just log into each of your accounts and it will connect them. Now, when you're inside the social planner section over here, once you've actually connected a Facebook profile, so you're going to just click on the account, press continue, and it will just log you in. You might have to type in your password, but as you can see there's all of my different pages. Let's just connect my Sarah Cordner page for the sake of doing an example here. There's one connected. Now, what we can do now is press get started. And now from this point onwards, we're actually going to see this whole sort of screen of where we can start scheduling social media content. Okay. You can, for instance, go and create a social media post. You can choose which of your accounts you want that to be posted to. And you can pop your posts in here. You can add your images, you can upload photos, you can add in videos, add in all of your hashtags and so much more. You can do your geotagging. You can even pre-write a follow-up comment down here and choose whether it's a feed, a reel or a story. All this fun stuff's here. And if you've got multiple different social media accounts connected, you can click along the post preview boxes, which will all show up here to see what your post will look like on each of those platforms. And from that point onwards, you can press schedule post, ta-da, and choose what day and what time you want that post to automatically post out to all of those particular channels. How good is that? I'm going to press back on that. Now, once you have that all set up, you will actually be able to see all of your upcoming posts and you'll be able to view it all in a calendar view as well. Now, obviously, I can't view that because I have a pretend account with nothing actually scheduled right here. The next thing you have inside your emails, there is, by the way, more training in depth and a bit slower on that inside your social media planner, social media scheduler section of the training course or the YouTube channel. Now, emails. Very important difference between emails. This is a mass mailing system. You must make sure that you've had your onboarding call to connect and set up your email sending properly. If anything is not set up properly, if your DNS settings are wrong, if your SMTP or DKIM or DMARC settings are wrong, it could bounce, it could damage your sending domain, and not many of you are expected to know what any of that means. Okay, so please just book a call with a grown-up. You either, if you haven't had your onboarding call, get that for free. If you have had your onboarding call but just want it checked, you can book a paid call with one of our tech experts who for $50 can just go in and do the very all-important task of making sure that is all set up properly before you start sending emails, okay? You do want to make sure you're only sending emails to people who have opted into your list, because if you get a high report rate, it could damage your sending domain. You also want to make sure that you're only sending to people who you've tagged with mailing list. You might want to get help doing that. You might want to also just make sure that all of your emails have been verified, just to make sure that you are protecting your sending domain at all times. Now, I know for many of you that's going to seem like very scary new stuff, but again, you can book a paid call with one of our tech experts at $50 to just help you get all of these basics set up right from the beginning, okay? Now, inside your emails, you've got two drop-down sections here. You've got Email Builder and you've got Campaigns. Email Builder is where you write and build your email, and Campaigns is where you send it from. This is how I want you to see these two. You go to Builder first to build it, and then you go to Campaigns to send it. Now, when you go into your Email Builder, I'd recommend you use our master templates over here and create your own master template. Create your own template that's in your own branding. You can customize that with your own links and everything else in there. And then from the Campaigns, you can pre-schedule mass emails. You can drip them out. You can send recurring emails that go out at certain days of the month or days of the week. Whatever you want can all be done from the Campaign section. And that makes your email marketing extremely targeted as well, because you can send out to those special smart lists as well that we've created. Maybe you only want to send a certain campaign to people who've opened a particular email or read a certain post or bought a certain product or haven't bought a certain product. You name it, you can do it from inside the campaign sending section. Woo, how exciting. Now we also have, there's lots of things in here that we will go through over time, but I also want to bring to your attention that we have something called the Affiliate Manager. This is where you can create your own affiliate campaigns. If you want people to go out there promoting your stuff for you and you want to pay them to do that, you want to give them commission every time they sell something for you, this is where you're going to do that. You're going to create your affiliate programs in here, and you're going to choose how much you want to pay people, whether it's a fixed price, whether it's a percentage, whether it's recurring every month, if it's a subscription or not. And this is going to show you all the people that are signed up as affiliates, how many affiliates you've got coming in, who you owe money to. And by the way, yes, your affiliates will have a login dashboard where they can also see how much money you owe them and more. Now, I'm going to skip past again some of these. I'm just doing this overview demo in this particular video, and this is the biggest one because there's a lot to show you where the navigation of everything is before you then go in and start learning how to use all of these individual features. So we also have automated workflows. This is where you can put pretty much any task on autopilot. This is where you can create a welcome email sequence. It's where you can create an automated selling or upselling sequence. It's where you can create sequences that do automated check-ins or reminders with your students. It's where you can almost entirely project manage your staff by putting reminders on autopilot. It's where you can do abandoned cart follow-up sequences. You name it, the sky's the absolute limit when it comes to what you can do inside workflows. So there's a whole training on the workflows and automation sections, but I want you to know that inside here, automated workflows or sequences are all happening inside this section here. Now, the other thing we have is websites and funnels section, which also, by the way, now includes webinars. It includes your client portal because, yes, if you're on the pro plan, your students get an app. You also can give your students access to communities and more. This is where you also can create unlimited forms to collect all kinds of data or information from people. Surveys is our quiz feature where you can create really cool conditional logic quizzes, feed people down different pathways and get different questions based on how they answer previous questions, and how you can even, under this quizzes section here, start creating special quizzes that then score people based on their answers and give them certain result outcomes based on how they answered questions as well. You can create QR codes in here that add people straight to your CRM contacts lists and so much more. Yes, we have stores. This is also a way to replace e-commerce. Wow, it gets even more exciting. There's training on all of this inside the course in more detail, but I just want you to know that all these features here are inside the websites and funnels section. Then we have the all-important courses and memberships. This here is where you add in all of your courses. It's where you build your communities. It's where you create your certificates. Now, Go Collab. Go Collab is a public marketplace. Think Udemy. This is a fairly new platform that is basically taking on Udemy. So you can also, by the way, choose to upload your courses or sync your courses rather to this public marketplace as well. Oh, yes, it just gets more exciting by the minute. This is a fantastic update at the end of 2024. Now, we have under the courses section inside your product builder, this is where you're going to basically be uploading and adding your courses, digital products that you want to sell, workshop recordings, webinar recordings, basically anything digital that you want to sell. I recommend you pop in this courses area. Even if it's not a course, that's why I've called it product builder. Any products basically are going to go in here. And yes, you get unlimited courses, unlimited products that you can actually create inside your system. So much more training on how to set all of that stuff up and create communities inside your courses, memberships, and communities area. Now, media storage, this is a bit like, imagine a Google Drive, okay? And by the way, you can actually connect your Google Drive, but think of this like file sharing folder on steroids. This is where here you can upload any files, any images, any documents at all that either you're going to be using in your web pages that you want to pull in to use on web pages or funnels, for instance, or that you actually want to share with somebody. So if I was to press upload and drop in a particular file, like for instance, here's a file that I have added to my media library, I can actually copy that link and now share this file with anyone. Maybe I get them to fill in a form, and once I've got their email address, then I can just send them this file link instead of a Google Drive file link. I'm using a Tekmatix file link so that I can track that they've clicked on it inside their client record. That's why I'd want to use it here instead of my Google Drive, so I can track that clicking. All right. A bit more on that later. What do we also have? Reputation management. Oh, gardener. It's always when you're making a video, isn't it? The gardeners turn up. Someone will knock on the door in a minute, don't worry. So yes, we have reputation and reviews management. So this is basically where you can connect in your reviews from Facebook, from Google, and you can start managing all of your reputation from in here. And you can automate your requests being sent out after people have had calls or bought services or products from you. And all of your different reviews can obviously all show up down here. Next, we have reporting. This is going to show you all kinds of reports in your business. One of my favorite ones is the attribution report. This shows you basically where all of your customers are actually coming from. You've got your task boards. This takes you back again to the projects and task boards that you've got that are like Kanban boards. By the way, I also use these to plan out courses and also even map out books and much more, doing brainstorming as well. You can join the Facebook group, of course. If you click on that one, it will take you to our Facebook group. We also have a daily training call that you can access. Now, by the way, this is only on weekdays. And please bear in mind, we are humans. Sometimes people are unwell, but we do our best to hold 2 training calls every single day that are completely free of charge that you can book into. And if we don't have anyone booked into them, by the way, sometimes they won't run. So if you do want to turn up to one, we do highly recommend you actually put your name and book into it. It is free. But if the tech experts see that nobody's actually signed up for it, they will just assume that nobody wants to run one that day and they won't go ahead with the call. So just keep that in mind as well. Don't ever sort of not sign up and then say, well, no one was there. We didn't know that anyone wanted to be. All right. So please make sure you click on that if you do want to turn up for daily training calls. You can ask a question and the team will basically do demos in those calls. It's very important that you understand these are not support calls. These are not to get personalized help inside your individual accounts or to present any issues. These are for you to get demos only. And that demo can only be performed in our demo training account for the purposes of privacy protection. These are public calls, group calls, and they are recorded and shared publicly online. So we can't go into anyone's individual accounts or solve any individual account issues in those calls. It's very important that you understand that. If you need support, you can get support in lots of different ways, including the live chat support down here or booking a paid call with a tech expert to help you get things fixed, done, and set up inside your account. Now, of course, you know where you can get a lot of the other features down here in terms of your billing and how to cancel your account, upgrade or downgrade, and back into your settings again, where you've got lots of other features. I will quickly mention the URL redirects, by the way. If any of you are affiliate marketers or for instance, to other people's affiliate programs, or if you've got really long, complicated, gobbledygooky type links to various files or forms, you can actually go in here and create redirects that use your domain so that it looks much cleaner. Many of you may have heard of things like pretty links or tiny URL. Basically, this is the equivalent of taking any long or external link and turning it into your own domain kind of link, which is always super fun. Now, that is a very, very rough fast view over all of the main features inside a Tekmatix account. Of course, there are way more features than these big overarching sections I've just shown you, but I hope that that gives you a bit of an overview as to what major features there are. And inside the Tekmatix training course, and indeed exactly the same inside the YouTube channel under the playlist section here, all of those are gone into in way more detail, as are they also inside this question mark on the bottom right hand side. You can get all of this training by either pressing the search box up here or by going into the Academy section here, and indeed by going on the guided tours over here. Okay, there are endless ways for you to get step-by-step help guides and training on every single feature in the platform. And my favorite one to suggest is just booking that 1 hour call with a tech expert one-on-one who basically will come in, take over your account and help you get anything done. And just as I finished that lovely long video, now so does the gardener, and it's lovely and quiet. If you need any help with anything at all, reach out to the team on support@tekmatix.com. If your question can't be answered by our live chat, this is where I recommend you always go first, because there are real people at the other side of this chat who are there to help you 24 hours a day. They cost me a lot of money to staff this, so please make sure that you use this instead of sitting around, waiting for an email. Emails will only get answered during our business hours. So live chat, we have people there 24 hours a day. All right, I'm going to press end chat on this. Just because this poor person thinks that I really need help. There you go. If you need any help, reach out, let us know. That is an overview. And I'm very sorry about the gardening noise in the background, but hopefully this served its purpose of showing you around. Happy teching.